Hey y'all, welcome back to the next part of the series where Nya and I are going to finally get into our adventures on the island. And when I tell you they are robust, it will definitely let you know these are the places to go to. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So in the last episode, we shared our intentions and how to prepare for getting on the island. Also too, yeah, Hawaii is no joke about making sure that you do not have COVID before you enter the island. Be careful.
Yes. That's a big one. Yes, you have to like fill out some paperwork. I'm sure Eve will drop the link, but make sure that you have that down. You have to track, what your flight information is, all that good stuff. So
yes,
have another level of precaution when you enter the island. It's not just easy peasy 1, 2, 3. I actually had a friend who almost got kicked off the island. Like I had to come to the airport and pick her up. It was wild. That's another story for another time.
Right. So just to give you clarity on where we were, Hawaii consists of many different islands, of course, and again, study the history. It is not cute. Many people who are of indigenous descent to Hawaii do not consider themselves to be a part of America, which is why they also refer to it as like the mainland, them over there, so them over there. But one of the coolest things about Hawaii that I really love is you can hop to all the other islands like very easily through a flight. Of course, I think you can take a ferry. I think for one of them, I can't remember which one. But many people go to Oahu, but we went to the Big Island because it's less touristy, and I wanted to experience like the Big Island and like the of course a slow pace of living island life where island girls.
But also real talk, like that's where my friend's wedding was. Like I didn't even know that like there was a big island that was like named Hawaii that's in Hawaii. All I knew was Honolulu. I was like, are we going to Honolulu? It's like that's not an island. No, Honolulu is in Oahu. Yes. Okay, this is your first time hearing about like the other islands of Hawaii. Don't be concerned. Like I had the same thing when I first was planning on visiting. So
yes, so basically if you look here, there's like basically only 2 ways to get around the island. There's just like one big road right here, and I believe this road right here in the middle was just put there a couple of years ago. Hawaiians, feel free to correct me, I love you. But Nya, I think it takes a total of 8 hours to drive across like the whole thing, right?
That's how long. Yeah, good question. I have no clue.
I think we did. Yeah, we did.
I don't think we did the whole thing. I think we just went to.
Well, we didn't do all of it in one day. No, we do it in one day. We did it in one day. We no giving teasers. We drove across the whole island. So first things first, we get into Hawaii. First thing, I'm a minimalist. Baby girl be carrying just a little bit of things. Nya, not so much. Got the whole hospital, daycare.
Prepared, okay? Gotta be prepared.
Everything with her. The person that you see featured in this picture is Kelsea. Really dope, really cool. Kels ended up flying with me and then leaving Hawaii like a couple of days later. But when I tell you, when we connected at the airport, it was just amazing and divine. She shared with me this book that I should read. If anyone read this book, please let me know what you thought about it. And we just connected so much about like just giving ourselves the space and time to like heal and do the things that we need to do for ourselves to heal. But of course, like if you're a minimalist, of course, pack light. I was also still working when I went to Hawaii, and I did not account for the time difference. So I was working a cool 2:30 to 10:30 a.m. So in here, you actually see my ring light, and this bag actually holds 2 computers and my Wi-Fi adapter hotspot that I carry with me because I am about that digital nomad life and all my outfits. But it was amazing. I think the biggest theme that I could start with would definitely be like water purifies. There's something about me. I think Nya and I had so many conversations about the water. Like, do we want to be the rock or the water? We watched the movie Soul and we were talking about, what's in our ocean? What is the ocean? So being in the water, I think was really big for us, seeing the amazing, seeing nature, the landscape, of course, and paying respects to it. Like, I don't know about y'all. I'm just a nerd. I'm the Black Eliza Thornberry. So I love animals. I love nature. So when I see a big old tree like this, I'm like, girl, how many things have you seen? How many secrets can you tell? And the food was amazing balls. This was some poke. So if you all don't know, really cool, but also sad fact is that Hawaii, across all the islands, I think, Nya, it was like 38% European American, 30% European and European American, 38% East Asian American, 18% Native Hawaiian, 2% Afro. So,
but then even within that Native Hawaiian population, I think there's like maybe like less than 1% that's just straight Native. But correct me if I'm wrong, Hawaiians, please.
At the same time, when I talk about like the level of erasure is crazy. And there were some times where, you know, we were trying to figure out where to go learn Native Hawaiian, and there's like an institute in Hilo where you can learn Native Hawaiian. If you want to take a hula class, they charge $250 an hour, and I'm like, yes, you better charge for people to come learn this very sacred dance. Learning what does not actually belong to Hawaii, like pineapples. No, that was dole, D-O-L-E. When I tell you, go look up videos on YouTube and study how Dole, who is an English American man who was a part of a committee that helped kick the queen out, and they called themselves like the you know, safeguarding the security of Hawaii, something like that committee, completely stripped this woman of her throne, imported pineapples from, I believe, Latin America, and then brought Filipinos and Chinese folks to come basically work on the plantations as well. So a lot of, and then the Japanese folks, I think the influx of the Japanese folks, I believe, was because of the 2008 crash during the recession. Land got so cheap, it came over and was like, yeah, I'm just gonna buy this. Yes, thank you. So a lot of Hawaiian food has a lot of like fusions, right? Nya. Another cool thing. So all of this is before Nya arrives, y'all. So I'm gonna go really quick on this, all right? So before Nya arrives, I'm just trying to live my best life. You know, I went to a coffee farm. I don't like coffee, it gives me bubble guts. So because of that, whenever I don't like something, I go study it. So I decided to go study it, and you know, big ups to Ethiopia because, you know, coffee, we thank you. The first place that I went to go live at was, like I said, was kind of up in the mountains. So it was like about a mile hike down to like go to the beach, which was White Sands Beach, which was the closest beach to me. So taking pictures of like mailboxes and like beautiful, you know, I don't know, I just thought these palm trees, like, are these not, these are not palm trees. You know what I mean? It looks pretty. these fan tropical situation is cute. Anyone who studies plants, tell me what that is, and tell me if was that manipulated or does it grow like that? I think that's why I was so fascinated by it. And then this is Pinky. I went to an octopus farm. Again, remember, Black Eliza Thornberry. We love animals. Pinky was mad dope. One cool fact about octopi is that I believe they actually see in color. And so Pinky is at a octopus farm, and he's a day octopus, and they only catch day octopus because you can actually catch them. Most octopus pie are nocturnal. So there's like several hundred species of them, I believe, and they're so freaking smart and so cool. And that's me trying to document my life because, like I said, I don't like taking pictures. So the only picture I didn't talk about was this beautiful zebra car right here. Their name is Zebbie. We're getting to that. We're on it now. So like I said, Nya and I took over Hawaii with Zebbie, okay? Nya, please tell the people how you were coming over to Hawaii and decided to cancel your rental.
Oh man, why did I cancel it? I think I was just like, oh, you know, Eve, like we don't need a car. We'll be able to just Uber around or Lyft around. And she's like, girl, don't, there's no Ubers here. Like if I try to reach out for Uber, it's maybe like 45 minutes. And it's true, like Uber and Lyft, they're just not big here. People have other things to do with their time, which is great for them. But you do need a car to get around the Big Island. So I ended up canceling my rental because I was like, this is too expensive. We'll be fine. And then the day before, and like Eve was already there. So she's like, girl, no. And it was the day before. And the reason why I came later is because it was my mom's birthday. So I'm there at my mom's dinner and Eve's like, no, we got to get a car. We got to figure this out. And I'm like, no, we'll just figure it out when we get there. She's like, no. Like I met someone who might have a car, be able to help us out. And I was just like, great, you know, like we'll figure it out when we get there. I'm usually not like that. I'm usually the anal, like, everything needs to be correct before we go and travel or do anything. But I was like, you know what? It's all going to work out. This whole Hawaii trip for me, honestly, was one where it's just like, it's all going to work out. Like, honestly, I was contracting at the time and then running my own business. So like I had my own expenses. So like pulling together the funds for Hawaii was just a blessing in and of itself. And I was like, I'm going and this is happening. I wasn't even sure if it was going to happen, and it did. So the fact that like the car was the last thing I was worried about. I was like, once I get there, it'll be fine. But then Eve worked her magic.
Yes, and the magic was on I think on my second day there, when I decided to finally go outside after I recovered from jet lag and got ready to work at 2:30 a.m. I decided to walk down to the beach. And upon myself walking down, I had my my gele, not head wrap, but I had my head wrap wrapped around myself as a dress. And I'm walking down and I see this Afro woman. She stopped her blue Mustang to get out the car to go pick up some fruit that a family was selling outside of their house. And she turned around and she saw me and she just went, hi. And I went, hi. And she was like, I'm talking to everybody Black. What are you doing here? And I'm like, I'm here to heal. And she was like, oh, that's nice. And she was like, great. And then come to find out, this wonderful woman, her name is Keisha, originally from Trinidad, literally picked up her life in New York with her son to come live in Hawaii. And, literally is a part of our like bad ASS, like folks in crime, right? So Keisha and I, from just a few days of hanging out with each other, when I found out Nya canceled her rental, I'm like, okay, I got to find us a car. And again, when I tell you the resourcefulness of Eve while traveling, at the time in Hawaii, when COVID hit, every car rental place sold the car to be able to get some cash. But then by the time people started traveling, it's Hawaii. It's like kind of like in the middle of nowhere. So to ship enough vehicles there, it takes some time. So there were folks renting out U-Hauls to be able to get around the island. And also, of course, mopeds and scooters as well. But we needed a car. So basically did some amazing under the table situation. And a lots of negotiation for us to have picked up Zebbie. Now, what's crazy is that this is the most non-inconspicuous car to be driving around as people visiting an island. And Zebbie also has a tail, okay? And I don't know if you notice, if you look closely, like decked out inside with zebra tape. It's a beach buggy. When I rolled up to the airport to come pick up Nya, I just remember her face going like, how did you get this car? And also too, Zebbie had wheels too big on her. The wheels on the car is way too big for her. So when you turn it, you can't turn her too far to the right because she start going, don't do it. But we had a good time with Zebbie. What did you say?
Zebbie is a goddess, okay? Let me tell y'all. She's a lifesaver. She's the queen. She is the dawn. She was so much she was like a critical part of our adventure. Beyond. And, like once I pulled up and I saw that we had a zebra car, I was like, I already know this trip is about to be epic. Like we got a whole zebra car. Oh, we're lit. That's it. We're done.
And it was. And let's go back to the next theme of the whole trip. Nya and I are both coaches, we're both consultants. So we spend most of our time dragging ourselves to our excellence. And one of the amazing questions that I love that Nya asked throughout this trip was like, how has God shown up for you these days? I don't know, Nya, if you remembered saying that and everything like that, but we had some good times asking this question. And I think Hawaii was a beautiful place to sit with this, because even though you could be in paradise, you may not be in paradise. In the mind. You know what I mean? Again. Yes, even though you may be in paradise, you may not be in paradise in your mind, okay? So that was big for us. So there was a lots of traveling. Me and Keisha went out to travel and whatnot, going to Hilo for the day, went to Akaka Falls in Hilo, head over there for sure. Mad cute. We saw the Coconut Man, which was really dope. We went to go see the dolphins with Miss Janet. Yes. I cannot remember the name of that hotel to save my life. Was it like the Hilton?
It was a Hilton, yeah.
It was a Hilton. Granted, I'm not gonna lie, it was beautiful to see these dolphins. They were so cute. The trainers were really nice to them, but I felt like the enclosure was like a little bit too small for them. A little bit.
Yeah, you thought she was gonna see dolphins in the wild. I was like, no, girl. If they had a hotel,
I was like, no, I don't want to see them there. It's not nice. When I tell you this hotel was huge, it had a shuttle, y'all. It had a shuttle to take people to and from where they needed to go. This guy, we call him the Coconut Man. He's at the bottom of Akaka Falls, I believe, and he literally lives just around the river bend of this picture right over here up top in his pineapple farm with his mom, who's a doula. He's like of European descent. I think he said he was what, Norwegian and something else, and his dad was an architect and ended up in the Caribbean building homes that would be able to support and withstand tropical storms. And then the family decided to move over to Hawaii, and then here he is with his coconut business. And I loved it. And of course, I'm Caribbean, so I love to put me a nice little fresh squeeze of lime juice in my coconut meat. Yes, very good. And also too, one of the biggest things while driving around, I know Nya could attest to this, is like the pictures would not do it justice. When I felt like sometimes we were like so close up to the clouds while driving at times, like especially when you're driving at dusk, like this picture, oh my gosh, like beautiful, paradise.
Otherworldly, like the most beautiful views. If you just come to Hawaii and just drive around, like that's all you really need to do, honestly. The landscape is just also changing. The mountains, there's desert land, there's rainforest. It's gorgeous. So beautiful.
Yes, and here are some more, like, again, we went to dope beaches. What were some beaches that we could drop for people right now? Kua Bay, King K Beach.
I don't think we went to Hapuna, but I've been to Hapuna. Hapuna's cool.
Hapuna's cool.
What's the one that you like? The Turtle Beach.
Oh, the Turtle Beach. I like that one. No, okay. No, I like Kua Bay one, then Turtle, then King K, and then White Sands.
White Sands, yeah. Wait, no, okay, I'm confused this with someone else. But yeah, there's also like green sands, black sands. There's lots of different sands here.
But at the same time, the sands are not, they're like places to go enjoy the beauty of like how those sands came to be. Like to get, I don't know, we didn't really get in the water because the black sands, the ones that we went to getting ahead was at Waipio Valley, but we were just, that was a trek.
The big island of like Hawaii is a very young island. There's lots of lava rock here, which people don't know. Mm-hmm. So some of the beaches are a little bit more rocky because of that. Mm-hmm. So if you go to other islands that are a little bit like older, like Maui, Oahu, you'll find your like white sandy, but this is more of an adventure island, I'd say.
Yes, for sure. Like this picture, I think right here behind me was us coming back from Kua Bay, which was really dope. This is a Scandinavian ice, again, in just influences of different cultures. Again, I'm not supposed to be eating this because it has milk in it, but you know, when Hawaii, go big, go home. Or as the surfers say, they say sometimes you have to pay to play. So I definitely paid. So, and then we got some dope vegan food. What was this spot?
I think this was like a Mexican Hawaiian fusion.
Yeah.
Local
wraps, and it was like vegan.
Mm-hmm. And that looks like the barbecue jackfruit,
the salad, the coleslaw, and then like this turmeric ginger situation I got because we're not getting sick out here, y'all. Okay.
No, so much fresh juices on the island.
Oh shoot, who's this? This is the homie. I forgot her name, but this turtle, beautiful story about this turtle. This turtle was actually raised in a captivity and then put back out into wildlife, but she comes back to this bay every year, never had any babies or children because she never learned the migration patterns that turtles basically kind of teach each other with living with each other because she was taken out of captivity. So the locals there take really good care of her. She's actually sitting on Turtle Bay. So of course, don't get too close to her, leave her be, let her sunbathe, let her live her best life. I think she was like 20 years old or 21 years old when we were there. I'm like, girl, I should get you a drink.
Yeah, don't go to those forests all up in the turtle space, or if you see a dolphin, don't swim up to them. Like, let these creatures be. This is their home too. Like, that's one of the things that you'll find in those videos about, you know, how to show up in Hawaii and not be crazy. So this is important.
Yes, these things are definitely important. And in the next video, we're going to share with you some more food, some more places. Where can you find authentic Hawaiian food? And and some cool places for you to go to. So see you next episode. You already know what to do. Subscribe, as Molly would say with the Cabs family. Shout out to the Cabs family. And like and share. See you next episode.